Isa ka bang negosyante na gustong magbenta online pero namamahalan at nahihirapan gumawa ng sariling online store? Paano kung sabihin ko sa'yo na pwede ka na magbenta online kahit hindi ka techie? May mura at hindi masakit sa bulsa na paraan para makapagsimula ka sa sarili mong online store. Tumatanggap rin ito ng credit cards and cash on delivery para sa mga orders. Nakakonekto sa mga kilalang delivery providers sa Pilipinas. At higit sa lahat, wala ka nang kailangan bayaran na interes at commission sa bawat benta. San ka pa? Gusto mo yon? Gusto ko yan!
Paano mo nasabi?
Lahat yan magagawa ng online store builder ng Prosperna.
Sige, masubukan nga. Paano ba simulan?
Ang gagawin nyo lang ay mag-setup ng account, mag-upload ng logo, at maglagay ng mga products. In just one click, konektado na agad ang mga payment at delivery partners nyo. Pwedeng-pwede na kayo sa e-commerce sa halagang abot kaya.
Ganun ba?
Ganun talaga! Kaya book ka na ng free demo at simulan na ang online negosyo para dumami pa ang benta. Lahat ng yan bigay sa'yo ng numero 1 online store builder ng Pilipinas. Mag-prosper na sa Prosperna!
Good afternoon, Prosper Nation, and we're back in our favorite digital happy hour every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. So, as you know, we in the digital happy hour we talk about the latest digital tips, digital trends, and digital news to help Philippine MSMEs grow their business online. So, let's see. Hello to everyone that's watching out there. And like I said, if you have any business questions, feel free to comment down below as well as to use the hashtag MSME Digital Happy Hour. So, without further ado, let us now introduce to you our CEOs, Dennis Velasco and Andrew Diamante.
Hey, Justin. Hey, Andrew. What's up, buddy?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. What up, Dennis? Hi, Justin.
Happy hour.
Yes,
Dude.
indeed.
How are you doing, Andrew?
Crazy rain here. Oh my gosh, guys, I can't tell you how crazy it is. How are you guys going there?
Is it raining rain or is it raining traffic, digital traffic and raining money or what's happening?
Oh, mate, it's raining everything. Cats, dogs, clients, everything, mate.
When it rains, it pours.
It does, and it sure just poured just today. How's everything on your side there?
Man, before we get started, I just want to say, hey, good to see you. Cheers to you, Justin, Rox, and the entire Prosper Nation. I see Ari. What's up, Ari? Yeah, no, things have been pretty much a bit about the same. It was a crazy, crazy day. And I'll have to be honest with everybody. I, kind of barely made the digital happy hour, but I'm here, you're here, we're all here. And so it's good stuff.
Indeed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we had a really, from a company standpoint, what's really cool is, yes, Ari, sad to say, and why'd you have to bring that topic up of taxes?
Oh, yes, it's finally.
Tax season is here. Not my funnest part of the job, for sure. I don't know about you, but yeah.
Indeed.
But we had a really good, super strong first quarter of the year, end of March. And I'm just excited to see all the different types of small to medium-sized companies joining us, joining LazyLabs, joining Prosperna, and even joining a lot of our customers and buying products from our customers. So it's been really cool. By the way, just to get this technical thing out of the way, am I frozen or can you guys see me moving?
Oh, I can see you moving now. There you go. Yeah, you're moving on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
they're moving.
Okay. Welcome to the Philippines.
It's more fun here,
True.
indeed.
Yeah. Anyway, no, I think we're gonna have a rocking session,
Yeah.
and glad to do this again. And I know, it's a pleasure to do this with you, Andrew, and the LazyLabs. I know we have a lot of joint customers, and what I love about you guys are just as most reliable and consistent, partners that we have out there. So it's just awesome to share that journey with you guys. But yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
That's awesome.
so from last episode, hello, can you all hear me?
Yes.
From
Yeah.
the last episode, we discussed TikTok and we discussed content for MSMEs. So now we want to delve into more like the selling side. So which is mobile shopping. As we know, the blow up of Lazada, of Shopee during the new normal and quarantine. So as you know, in the digital marketing perspective, as well as Dennis, for as a e-commerce software leader, what are your thoughts on the mobile shopping trend that's happening now?
For me personally, first, it's important to think about starting with the numbers first. And I'm glad we brought this up. Actually, in these last couple of weeks, we've gotten so many requests and just general questions about, should I have a mobile app, right, for my online business? But before people get hyped up into those kinds of big decisions, let's look at the numbers real quick. And one of the most popular research reports that's done in the about the Philippines in e-commerce is by Hootsuite.
Hootsuite.
Yeah, do you guys use Hootsuite or something similar?
You used that in the past, yeah. Hootsuite's very good with what they do.
Yeah, it's a good social media software, and they actually spend a lot of money on research to understand what's happening in the digital and e-commerce space, and they do a lot of research specifically also by region and by country, which is what I really like, because it's hard sometimes to come by research reports and data specifically for our country here in the Philippines. But one of the reports that I saw, I'm sure Andrew, you've seen this, is last year alone, 62% of all e-commerce transactions and purchases in the Philippines were made through a mobile device. Right? And it completely makes sense because, a mobile device is so multi-purpose, and they're getting so much more powerful these days.
Sure.
And, I'll be honest, right now, I've actually got my mobile phone, right, which I think is actually much more powerful than my computer. I've got my tablet, right, and the laptop that I'm actually doing the event with. So it's device mania, and 2 out of the 3 devices that I'm using are mobile, devices, right? So, but Andrew, do you get that question a lot from people? Should I invest in a mobile app for my online business?
Honestly, I truly agree with you, Dennis, there. Lots and lots of people definitely gravitate towards mobile in terms of like their questions, like should I be ready for this? Is this something that we should cater for? Because a lot of the times, especially when you're drafting out, your collaterals and everything, a lot of them tend to think desktop, but then they rarely think, okay, this is going to look really small on a mobile. We've had tons and tons of people just design really small items, and then when you look at it on the phone, oh my god, you could barely see the things that are being designed. So yeah, honestly, I think a lot of the businesses are actually aware that mobile is a huge thing, and it's great that Dennis really brought the stats together, because Gosh, I think back in 2018, ever since I came back home to Philippines, even at that time, mobile was huge already, and I think it's even bigger now because a lot of the people are actually just using mobile as their main source of usage for internet. Um,
Yes.
Even if you've got like a laptop or a desktop, there is still a significant amount of time spent on the mobile that it really gears a lot of the marketing towards mobile. And I can really agree with the stats that even just advertising a messenger alone is huge, and there's a lot of conversion that you could really get from there. And to branch off of that, with in terms of app, a lot of businesses actually gravitate towards that. But I always remind them, hey, look, before you go into creating that app, before you go and creating, everything that you would want for that, make sure that you would have users to actually be using that. And that's why we always like Facebook, because it's something free. It's something to really test out. If you are in that market, that you can really bring people to actually use stuff that's perfect for this one. Is this something that you should really look into investing? Like a website is altogether, something that really checks if a lot of people visit via mobile. Now that really justifies that you should really spend on, creating that app so that, they would have the full mobile experience, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Justin, with since you have had a online selling business, creating your own apparel
Mm.
brand and
Yeah.
building that in the women's active fitness, which of course I think that's an awesome category. Did you
Yeah.
ever consider having a mobile app?
Mm.
Actually, very much, because right now most of my users and most of my buyers are big on Lazada and
Right.
Instagram, and those are the kinds of apps that are available on mobile. So I'm really interested in, investing on mobile app, as well as, I see digital trends now where they always emphasize it's a mobile first world, which
Definitely.
is actually something that I was actually leaning to ask Andrew.
Mm.
Since it's a mobile first kind of marketing strategy now, do you
Mm.
think that MSMEs should have a stories kind of strategy in their marketing strategy, or should it be just whatever's put on the feed should be just put on the stories? Because some people are really doing a story strategy now.
Mm. Honestly, my answer to that is it really depends on what's easiest for the company to do. Because a lot of the times, stories, to me, they are very casual, especially when it comes to selling. Because a lot of people tend to view what's happening to today, rather than going onto the actual timeline, or going to the actual profiles. They like to just view everyone's as stories, everyone's as day, and then it's a quick and easy way to really push for content to be out. For me, honestly, just put out the thing that is easiest to you. Because it's all about creating that system at the end of the day. Stories is actually really powerful when it comes to selling, because it's a casual way of really presenting what you have. And honestly, it's very powerful in terms of creating that story, like putting out like, hey, this is us, we've had 10 orders today. It's a humble way of putting it. And depending on how you really structure using stories, it comes off elegant for a lot of people, but sometimes it becomes detrimental to a few. So that's where I'm saying, just use the stuff, like use all the tools that you can, and then verify which one is easiest for you, and then go with that for now. And then you can always just expand on that later on, because it's all about the system at the end of the day. Like if it's something that you could quickly throw on there, perfect.
Hmm.
Use stories by all means.
Agree. Actually, that's
Great,
how
simple
I
advice.
yeah.
Mm.
And actually, that's how I started my small business. I like just
All right.
started from posting clothes, and then from posting clothes, that when I started to change my strategy into what works with audience, what I can experiment to get them to buy my product,
Yeah,
and what gets them to engage, and then from there you really grow as a business, or as a product. But
that's it. Mm,
and one of the trends now actually also is personalization.
mm,
It's very big now. Even just a simple um like the mention of a customer's name
yeah,
already makes a
huge.
big impact for
Yeah.
them. So what are the ways that in your business are you personalizing, or what else can do you want to personalize your business for both you
Mm.
and Dennis?
Dennis, have you got any like tips and tricks that you've used in the past? Because I know that you're very active in a lot of groups. I can see. Oh my god, this guy is the man to go for, especially when it comes to community. Honestly. Mm.
And believe it or not, I actually have 3 full-time jobs at least,
Oh,
and I'm still
crazy.
pretty active. Uh, but yeah, no, just let's maybe tie these two things together a
Mm.
little bit in terms of a mobile strategy. And Ari, I promise we'll definitely address. That's a great question about when should a company invest in a mobile app.
Mm.
But first, when it comes to the mobile digital marketing strategy and with personalization, right? So if your customers are on, majority of your customers are on their mobile device, right? Then you got to follow your customer. That's number one.
Indeed.
And then the Facebook stories. That what I love about Facebook stories and why it's so tactically just amazing, an amazing tactical tool is in Facebook stories, you can see who actually viewed your
Yeah.
brand,
Mm. Indeed.
right? They don't have to comment. They don't have to like it. You can actually see who was engaged. By seeing actually who's engaged, that gives you the opportunity to create a conversation. And conversations lead to personalization, right? So you really have to get into the weeds of how the tactical features work if you want to create engagement with your brand. And so, unlike just doing a post where you don't know who's looking at your post unless they comment or like,
Very true. Yes.
right? And so, again, sorry, maybe I'm a bit of a voyeur or a spy, but that's or both.
To be honest, I'm glad that you brought that up, Dennis, because that's the thing. Believe it or not, guys, a lot of people actually see posts that we post on Facebook. So the ones that go into our newsfeed, tons and tons of people see that, but they just don't like, they don't comment, they just see it.
Yeah. True.
And that's where reach really comes in handy because you can see how many people reached, how many people the post actually reached out to. And it's the same thing with viewers on stories because now you can tell that people are actually seeing it. And it, oh my God, honestly, the amount of times that I've seen posts where they really tackle a lot, I don't know, it's this entrepreneur hustle thing wherein they say, a lot of people are watching but they don't really comment or they just look or observe and
Well,
I think
and
that's an
that's where,
interesting thing. Mm,
yeah, and that's where if we combine some of the stuff that we talked about in the last episode, right? As
mm,
long as you're not that sleazeball salesperson
mm,
Yeah.
and becoming an obnoxious stalker, or if you're not leading with your product, you're really leading with value, then
mm,
you can use stories to open up the conversation and connect with people. And after 2 or 3 connections and conversations, everybody feels warm and fuzzy. And now all of a sudden we're best buds. And
yeah,
people like to buy from their best buddies.
true,
True.
True?
indeed. Familiarity, that's the huge thing, especially when you're putting your name out there, you're putting your brand out there. It's always good to have that familiar touch so that people could really gravitate towards you. And the moment you actually just have that one product that could really get them going, oh my god, game changer. And that's where you can really start selling.
Yeah. Now, let's go to a couple of some of the questions out there from the Prosper Nation and the Lazy Lab Nation.
Mm.
I kind of like Lazy Nation, if that's okay with you.
Lazy Nation, yeah. I'm all for it.
Hey, man, that's why you exist, man. You do it for them, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. So before we get deeper into personalization, I think it's a huge question, right? Let's restate it here from the viewers. It takes a while to develop an app, and it takes even longer to get it approved. And at what point does investing in making an app make sense rather than listing it on a marketplace like Lazada, Shopee, or eBay?
I love it. Nice. Great question.
Yeah, from one standpoint, my natural inclination is to look at it from a number standpoint before you start getting emotional, right? And so first, you have to ask yourself, how much does a mobile app cost?
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Number one. And as a caveat to that, though, I will be the first person to say you shouldn't always look at it like an expense. You should look at it like an investment. So then you go to number two, right? If a mobile app costs, I don't know, 50,000, I don't think you can get one for 50,000, a good one. Maybe a couple hundred, 500,000, a million pesos.
That's the minimum. Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
How much effort and how much sales will that single investment get you?
Indeed.
Versus, what if I took half of the money that I thought it would cost to build a mobile app and invested that in Facebook ads, social media engagement activities, and just getting in front of customers? I would say, since e-commerce is so new for the majority of the Philippines, a mobile app should not be your first priority unless you already, as you mentioned, Andrew, have lots of existing users.
Indeed.
And because you have to invest to keep them coming back into the mobile app.
Yeah. A lot. Huge investment at that point.
Yeah. I mean, if you just sell baked goods and if you identify that people buy baked goods during different seasons or celebrations, how are you going to make that mobile app for baked goods so enticing for someone to log in there every day? Right? I don't know. Just one person. I get that question all the time, and I'm like, hey, if you really want to spend the money, we'd be happy to build it for you, but I'd love to save you the money and actually get you sales first.
Honestly, that's the major focus for a lot. Definitely focus on sales first before you gravitate towards like a very customized experience. Because now you might end up with just, an app, a website, the works, but no customers. And you end up just spending all of that. Of course, it's not a cost thing at the end of the day. It's always about, I don't know, for me, it's a database thing. If you've got customers to really affirm, that whole investment, honestly, go for it. I'd say to go with Ariz's question just to answer it plainly. If it comes to a point wherein it really rivals, like it becomes detrimental for you to use Lazada and Shopee because you would prefer customized, then start creating your app. I think you would have to at least have like over 10,000, maybe 50,000 users for you really justify that. Because honestly, an app is such a huge investment, and I really agree. Like getting it approved is such a long time. Google, at least it's a lot better because now you can actually just get it submitted, and then it's a lot quicker than iOS. But to really break it down, my gosh, It's a huge investment, guys. That's why I would really look into investing first on a website. And honestly, Prosperna could really sort you out with that. They can really justify if you're ready to go into an app and if it's ready for that. I'd say they would be the best people to actually consult with if you guys are
Yes.
ready to jump into an app. Yeah, the stats don't really lie. And yeah, for me as well as a digital marketing guy, when I look at the stats, honestly, it's just a telling point wherein you would be just transitioning there, or just invest more in Facebook, scale up from there, and then look into jumping outside.
Yeah, as long as the online store or website platform that you use is mobile responsive,
Yes.
then end of story, end of
Indeed.
question. Otherwise, if you look at some of the industry averages, the retention and return rate of going back to a mobile app is quite low. So if you're going to have to invest in people downloading it and then invest in them having to log back in, that's a whole team and business unit on its own, right?
Indeed.
Let's see, what other questions do we have out there from the community? Some stuff here around personalization. The company was asking if we could personalize the pots. Yeah, so I think there's the plant phenomenon, the plantito, right?
God.
Hey, man, I love it. I've got 2 really mini small plants now, and I swear it's done magic in my office here.
Sure.
So I'm all for it. But whether it's plants or improving your home, because we're spending 95% of our time at home, there's a lot of online business opportunities to provide those products and services. And personalization is huge, because you used to be able to easily walk in the mall and get everything and do everything, right?
Yeah.
The
Product
malls, I don't know about you,
services,
Andrew and Justin, but the malls here in the Philippines are crazy. You used to be able to, you can
I agree.
go to the mall in the morning and you see people exercising, right?
Even go
Those
to
same
church.
people, those same people go to the donut shop,
Yeah.
and then they go, like you said, Andrew, they go to church after that,
At the
right? Then they have lunch there.
Yeah.
Well, then in all that activity, they would have walked by one of those kinds of little kiosk stores that can personalize products.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now you have to take those products and services and bring them to the living room and to the mobile device of your customers. We are getting a lot of interest and requests to personalization and printing services on the Prosperna platform. So a consumer could go to an abc.com online store powered by Prosperna, and they could, number one, for example, select their type of wallpaper, right?
Yeah.
They could measure the size of their wall at home and then get a custom personalized quote on what that wallpaper is that they're going to buy, all online.
I think that's
Right.
the beauty of it. Right?
They could select a t-shirt, upload a photo of their friends and family, and put it on the shirt so it looks like what they're actually going to get, and buy 10 of them. Right? It's now becoming possible. So
Definitely.
anyway, do you get a lot of what kind of personalization requests or that do you get, and what do you think has maybe worked in your experience?
Basically for us, I think the nature of what we do in terms of digital marketing, it's basically personalization from the get-go. So we we simply produce, like, different um customized to the very T, style guides, brand guides, strategy guides. It's all on a case per case basis. There's no way for us to just really, cool, yep, same industry, yep, replicate same exact thing and then just duplicate it. I wish we could do that, but I think that's the beauty of the digital marketing industry. It's honestly like a journey altogether. Every single client is very different. You would think that, two companies are quite similar, and then you really break it down to the very business model. You can even look into it, and they're still very different. And yeah, with the personalization part, sometimes they go to an extent wherein, hey, could you make 20 posts for us in a week? Yeah, we could look into doing that. And then some clients actually also just say, hey, could you run 20 ads for us? And honestly, it really depends on industry. And I'd say I like what a few clients are doing. They base it off of the customer, like the market itself, and they get that one to dictate what their trajectory is, and they base it off of their branding if they were to really follow that through, or if they were to create their own kind of ripple so that they can counteract what's happening with the market and introduce something that is from them rather than bandwagoning what's happening with, what's happening in the crowd.
Yeah. I think that's
Cool.
a good point, Andrew, that you just said
Mm.
right there, because it's not just personalizing your strategy and personalizing for the audience, but you also have to strategize how that personalization would help your business go
Indeed.
up or increase, or would help you engage more with audience.
Very true. Mm.
Yeah, just for the for the record of those that are listening, right? What we're talking about when we say personalization, it's about creating a personal experience when
Yes,
people buy from you across any channel, not
definitely.
just your online store, in Viber,
Mm.
in WhatsApp, in Facebook Messenger, via email, across all channels, right? So what I like to say is, like, um, everybody likes to have a friend in the fill in the blank business. So my question and challenge for the small and medium enterprises out there is, what are you doing to become that friend
Mm.
in the fill in the blank industry for your potential customers? And if you don't have people that are working with you in social media, your digital agency, if you're, when people first greet you on Viber, if that's not
Yeah.
the uh, experience that you give off, I'll bet you somebody else is giving that experience and they're winning.
Mm. Yes, I agree with that. That's huge. That's definitely part of branding. Mm.
True.
Yeah.
Mm.
But,
Yeah.
personalization doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't
True.
have to be expensive.
True.
That's what they call the human part to digital.
Mm.
And I've been, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's why there's been such a big growing industry also about upskilling the Philippines and the
Mm.
workforce, because, the companies have freaking driven this economy to such a traditional manner that
I
now
agree.
that we're forced to go into digital, nobody knows what to do.
Yeah, they're all floundering. I agree.
True.
Mm.
So anyway,
Yeah. Let's take a break now, and let's make the audience think how they can personalize their business. So now we're just going to take a break, but we'll be back after the commercials.
Sounds good.
awesome,
Awesome.
awesome.
Hi, I'm Jessica Santiago of Buku Buku Cafe, and we're a Metro South restaurant serving Filipino comfort food with a Southeast Asian twist. We'd love for you to try our big servings for the family, like our bagnet at Chicharon Bulaklak, sinigang na baka sa gata, and our laksa. Make sure to keep in touch with us at Buku Buku Cafe. That's cafe with a K on Facebook and Instagram. See you at bukubukucafe.com.
Hi, I'm JD, supervisor at Discussions Coffee and Tea House. We would love you to try our best-selling coffee, Ice Mud Mocha. We are located in Fairview, Quezon City. Visit us at discussionscoffee.com. See ya!
Hi, I'm Leo Bryan, co-founder of Pokely Foods. Come check out our Suka Laing Tuyo Tinapa Dalawang Alige Dalawang Alamang. Every single month we have really cool promos going. Come check us out, www.pokelyfoods.com. Kanin na lang!
Hello, I'm Stephen from Sears, and if you're looking for properties within Metro Manila, Pampanga, Laguna, you could visit our website at sears.ph, seares.ph. Thank you.
And we're back. So before we start again, I would like to thank you for the our Prosper Nation who appeared in our commercials, Buku Buku Cafe, Discussions Coffee, ABCDB, Pokely Food. I was really craving for that laing, and Ceres.
Those are
That's
nice
awesome.
products. That was a
So
great
to start
lineup.
off, yeah, actually.
Wait, Justin.
Yeah.
Before we gotta, this was a great collection here of some interesting stories behind these customers that we just displayed. If we could just take a couple seconds to talk about them, because I think it's an important time, despite what every business is facing, barely getting out. I don't even know if the second lockdown is over. I have no idea, honestly. I just stopped paying attention. But, considering what's going on in the world, lockdown 2 here in the Philippines, I think it's important that we help inspire others, right? That it is possible. So, personally, some of the things that I love about like Buku Buku Cafe, number one, their food when it gets to your home. I'm weird. I am a big fan of leftovers. Now, clearly, Buku Buku Cafe is not leftovers, but I think that I was a little scared of ordering anything if it's just as good when it gets to your home. And the spices that they put in their food just pops out of your mouth, and the taste is just amazing. So their quality when it gets to the home is just amazing. And what's really cool about them is, and Andrew, I'm not sure if you have some clients that have, that had before, the pandemic, they, Buku Cafe had a pure mall strategy. And so you could only find them at the mall.
Wow. That's crazy. Right? It's great that they shifted. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah. You guys have you have clients like that?
Yeah, we've got heaps of clients that really shifted from the traditional to like, oh wait, we don't know what to do, but please be nice to us, and then take us in. And honestly, I don't know, the way I see it, where we really come in, Dennis, at this time of pandemic is we really usher them into the digital world and make sure to really hold their hand and make sure that they really do well. Because honestly, it's going to be a huge thing. We've recently had a client that had a massively bad experience with a graphic designer, and it's a heartbreaking thing to hear that from a client. And then, really asking like, hey, look, this was my experience. How can you help us with this? And I think that's where we really come in. We really try and provide the best experience that they can, so that they don't get burned, especially when this is the only place that they can actually make money from. Because the mall strategy is not going to work anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're
Mall
kind of like a
mall
digital
strategy is
frontliner.
dead.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Couple other things.
Hmm,
Super inspiring about the
indeed.
ABC Divi story.
Yes.
A clothing and soft goods, store selling in, some of the markets in the past with a legacy, business where the original founder is 80 plus years old. I mean,
Yeah.
kudos to them for having the courage. I mean, there's really no excuses out there, you
True.
know.
I agree.
Um, and then uh, our fun friends at PokeLeeFoods.com,
Yeah.
Lee and
Fine.
Paul Kwang. What I love about these guys is obviously the amazing food that you can just get prepackaged and sent home. But they are really doing it right. I encourage everybody to check out their YouTube channel.
Mm.
Maybe Justin,
Ooh.
maybe take a look. Maybe you can pull up their YouTube channel. And
Okay.
a lot of people get scared about doing video. And let's maybe flash it here for a second. But they're just, they're inviting people and their customers basically into their home. It's not a fancy production, right?
Mm.
And they're just being themselves, right? And who doesn't love? I mean, that's why everybody. I can't think of a nation, a group of people, a community that doesn't love to corral around the
Mm.
kitchen,
I
right?
agree. Filipinos are huge on that.
That's where everything happens, right?
Okay.
And they've got
Lee
great
Brian
videos.
is here.
Can you pull
Lee
up the
Brian.
YouTube channel?
Okay.
I think that's worth sharing for everybody here.
They're huge. I'm on their YouTube right now. They have
I can see it.
489,000. Do you want me to share? I can share my
Yeah, yeah.
screen.
There.
Sure.
Sure.
Oh, it's here already.
Is there? Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, can you see it?
Oh man. Yeah. Look at that. 489,000 subscribers. And they're like,
Wow.
I can tell that they just have fun. Like they simply have vlogs, and they're very good at what they do. Understanding that Pokpang is also a huge factor in terms of really bringing entertainment.
I
Honestly,
think
Oh,
Lee is the X factor. I see this.
yeah,
Who's the white guy on there? He speaks
I
better
agree.
Tagalog than I do.
Oh damn! I think you
Tuyo
need
for
to you need to
kids.
practice more now, Dennis. He's beating
He's
you.
got me there for sure.
Yeah. Honestly,
That's
guys, like I think this is a testament of you don't have to have a fancy, bunch of equipment to really put things together. You just need, your smartphone, just shoot something. And yeah, you can see it's all about consistency, guys. Like, I can tell
Yeah.
that they have a system that they've really built around this one now. And they simply just rinse and repeat, do it over and over again. I kept joking about this one back in 2018. I kept telling people, "Hey, look, guys, the formula for YouTube, consistency. Tell you what, if someone creates a vlog channel of them sleeping, like a sleep vlog, they sleep for 8 hours and then they wake up. Thanks for watching, and then that's it. It sounds crazy if you just have like one or two videos, but if you have 100 videos that you kept doing that, that's amazing. If you have 2 videos, you're crazy. that that's the kind of balance that you need to play. You need to have more than 10 and keep at it, be consistent. And that's the beauty, guys. Like, you don't have to invest in quality. It's all about quantity, because quality is subjective. Quantity, you can't argue with quantity.
Oh, I like that. I like
Right.
that.
Mm.
Couple other things. I mean, CRES. So CRES is a real estate brokerage firm, and Stephen over at CRES. These guys are absolutely top notch. One of the things that I really love about them is they're all about the consultancy and really understanding all the needs of a customer. So they're not out there flipping, a bunch of condos, just, transaction after transaction. And then what they're trying to do is really educate buyers and sellers about the real estate market. So they lead with that, like what we were talking about in the last episode. They lead with education,
Nice.
right? They lead with that
Value.
consultancy approach and that value. Yeah.
I agree.
And these guys just crush it, despite the real estate pullback. They're doing very well. And other one worth mentioning here is Brian over at Discussions Coffee. This is a common strategy, and this is one thing that I really commend Brian about also, and about their courage. When it comes to inspiring people, they were like many other retailers and food and beverage companies and coffee companies. They had a great physical location. In traditional retail, it's about location, location, location.
Sure.
Yes.
They were very near college campus. Now, clearly, we knew what happened when lockdown 1 and 2, and the pandemic happens, and coffee shops aren't the most popular places unless you want to live a short life, right? But they do have, luckily, centered around their location is an amazing recipe of some damn good beans, right? And
beans.
Yeah. And so Brian basically said, hey, I want to use my digital strategy as an opportunity. In the past, his target audience was basically 4 blocks. But then he said, I had to change my mindset and go, maybe my strategy is to increase my reach to 5 kilometers by going digital, right?
Sure.
I mean, it just takes a small shift like that, and that can really help your business, as they say, bounce back. Sorry, Justin, I know I may have ruined our agenda here today, but I think it's really important that people see by example.
Yes, I agree.
True.
And it's a different thing, especially if you could actually see companies like MSMEs who are doing well despite all the pushbacks, despite all the hindrances. I think it just really ignites a lot of hope for a lot of the people, a lot of the entrepreneurs or business owners who are really finding it hard right now. And I agree, like it's a tough world out there, but you just gotta persevere and really find a way to really match what you can bring to what is available right now and what you're able to actually do. Because the more you stick to that mole strategy, the more you hug it tight and sleep with it, it's not gonna make you money. That's why you got to be open to new ideas, and you got to be open to actually just transitioning. Change is your friend. Change shouldn't be your enemy at this point.
True. So
I
everything's
love
changing.
Cheers.
That's awesome. So, I mean, what inspired you, Justin, to? I mean, was it something that you always wanted to do, or was it based out of being forced to create your own business when it came to, your women's activewear brand? What's the Facebook page that you have?
It's just Fitness PH Clothing. Well, honestly, I didn't my mom is already an entrepreneur, but I didn't see myself going into it as in lockdown,
Mm,
because there was, the uncertainty of a lockdown. But then you're forced to make a decision on, you're uncertain also with the cash flow and everything like that, so you
mm,
have to know how to make a way. And the best thing that I knew was to exercise, but at the
uh,
same time, there to be a fitness influencer it's gonna take time. So
yep.
I wanted something that I already knew, I was already good at, I can already be an expert at without the time, and that was Activewear. So actually, the story was I started with a budget of 2,000, and from just
Uh,
there, I just grew the business. I just made it what it is now.
That's
And I
awesome.
nice.
think that can also inspire other MSMEs, that if you're in a situation where you don't know what to do, or you don't know, um just always think at what I can do now, what
Yeah,
strengths I can utilize, and then from there, ideas will start to sprout on how you can deal with whatever you're dealing now.
I agree. That's well said. I really align with that because a lot of the times, especially with entrepreneurs, sometimes when it's not really your passion, this is where I really drill into the why of the company. Because if you're there for just money, oh my god, you're in for a bad time. It should be passion, like it should be something deeper than money. Because the moment that you don't have anything coming in and you're just there for the money, you're gonna leave that and you're gonna find something that you're gonna like doing more. And I think that's where that should be the basis of every business that you should start. Don't go in for the money. Always go in for passion. And regardless of whether this makes you money or not, that should be the basis of your whole company. Because now, regardless of if it does well or it doesn't do well, you're still going to work on it and you're still going to pursue on getting it done rather than like, oh man, we made $1,000 or $2,000 today. But you know that might go away, especially if you were just jumping along the trend or anything of that
Yes,
sort.
agree.
Hmm. Man, I
It's
like.
the
I'm on Just Fitness page. It's so nice.
it's the
I'm on your
why
page
that
listening.
will yeah, it's the why that will like keep you going through, especially when your sales are low and then you don't know what to
Yes.
do. It's really your why.
Well,
Yes.
let's, you know, you're right, but I just like to say it how it is because I think people need to honestly wake up.
Mm,
At a minimum, research shows that 30% of the SMEs that start never make it past year one.
that's very true.
And the average business and investment will take you 3 years. So if
Mm,
money is the reason, you're starting way behind because you can basically count on not making money for a while unless you very simply do the inputs that lead to the right outputs.
mm,
That's really where people should focus on top of, yeah, why you do things. But it just cracks me up on how people want to make money overnight. And I'm like, we're not
right.
for you. If you're looking for an overnight, one time, big time,
Yeah.
let me introduce you to somebody.
Yeah. You
But
should
I'm
buy
curious.
their
Yeah.
course.
But I'm actually
Their
curious,
stuff.
Dennis, because your passion
Mm.
now is helping Philippine MSMEs, right? So how did you develop that passion? Because mine is very straight. It's working out. How about you? How did you develop that love and passion for the Philippine MSMEs? And how do you find that passion? Because it's not always that people find immediately their passion.
Sure.
It definitely takes time to find it. I spent several years, right, not to date myself, right, but it took me several years to figure out what I
Mm.
wanted to be when I grew up. And the problem and the opportunity was I just wasn't listening to myself. I mean,
agree.
my parents were small business owners. I never saw them work for a company their entire life, even if they migrated to the U.S. And the U.S. is a great place to be in the workforce. So I grew up around that. My parents would, they were tiger type of parents, right? It was like, you got to win, you got to be first, you got to be fastest, right? You got to get the best grades. They pushed me to the brink of not accepting anything less, right? So it just took me several years to go, that's what makes me excited. Everything else felt like a freaking job to me. And no wonder I was not happy with myself after, the first few years of trying to figure out myself. Now, I feel like I've never worked a day in my life in the last several years. I don't know. That's my story. I bet Andrew's got a pretty windy story there.
Yeah. I'd say for me it's even different because my dad's actually an academic. My mom has always been I'm the first entrepreneur in the family.
Oh, wow.
They didn't even get like why would you why start a business? I don't get that. And then this is the crazier part with my transition as well. I quit my corporate job, which was my dream job, by the way, guys. Oh my god,
What were you doing? What was that?
it was I was the national client account manager for a Forbes Fortune 500 company in New Zealand.
Dude, that's big time.
Yes. Oh man, the amount of amenities that I had was ungodly. Like I had a credit card that I could buy lunch and dinner off of, and anything that I liked. I could fly all around New Zealand at any point in time. I could just plan out my whole week. I had a work car, which is a Volkswagen GTR.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a sports car. I was like the amount of amenities. I had a laptop, a phone, like it's the works. But then I left that because it wasn't really my passion. Like I think I got to a point in time where I was like, cool, I got my dream job. Now I can work on my passion. Because it's like, I got to the top. Now onto a new platform where it's interesting and new to me. And I think how I transitioned was I just quit that job and moved back home to New Zealand, to Philippines. And the kicker here is the company actually asked me, so Andrew, do you want to go on a holiday, which is Philippines, or do you want to keep your job? They made it very easy to me when they presented those two options to me. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit my job, start an e-commerce company in Philippines, and we'll see how we go. Of course, my parents were as Asian parents would. They're very scared, nervous. Like what the hell are you doing? Like they were very shocked with my decision.
Where are you gonna get a job, Andrew?
Right? Yeah.
Oh no, wala
I
kang
know,
job.
and I think that leap of faith is really what differentiates all the entrepreneurs that are here, all the entrepreneurs that were with Dennis, Justin. Like, I think that's where we can all relate, and that leap of faith really sets us apart from everyone else. And we should keep doing that leap of faith because a lot of the times, I think entrepreneurs actually lose that touch. When we become business owners, we succumb to that system wherein it should be calculated, it should be safe, it should be it should be secure. But I think that's not the time to be secure because especially with the pandemic and
Dude,
everything right now,
there's nothing secure about life except
nothing
for
like
what you choose to do every
right,
day.
right, yeah, exactly. And that's why, like, to align back with what Justin is actually doing, just do what you can. Like I'm actually on her page right now, like Just Fitness PH. Oh my gosh, like honestly, everything that you can do right now. I think there was a quote. Sorry guys, I really like quotes. It's doing the impossible. A lot of the times people just keep thinking that impossible is hard, but just do what's possible first. slowly but surely, when you look back, you would have done the impossible. But start with what's possible first,
Dude, that's cool.
right?
We need
And
to have
yeah,
a cheers around that one.
Yeah.
cheers.
Cheers.
Oh,
I
have
have.
my wallet. I
Dude,
don't have anything. I
Cheers.
don't have any drinks here.
don't come to digital happy hour empty-handed, bro.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. I'll
What's wrong
bring.
with you,
I'll
man?
bring a pint next time. I'll just
They
have
got some
peppermint
good.
for now.
They got some good kiwi beer.
Oh, mate.
What are the good
I
beers
miss
out there in
kiwi.
Cebu? Or no, wait, you're not
Ooh.
in Cebu, are you?
I'm in late there right now. I'm kind
Yeah.
of cut out from the shortage, from the channel of anything imported. Kind of limited here, but we do have corned beef. Hey, we've got New Zealand
Hey,
corned beef. It's
who
always
doesn't
nice.
love a good can of New Zealand corned beef?
Indeed. Oh, hams.
Before we wrap up, we just want to ask one question for the both of you, and this is what kind of brand personas appeal best to the masses in both of your perspective?
Ooh.
What kind of brand persona appeals to the masses?
If I were to just answer it directly,
Yeah.
Filipinos like to laugh. So if
yeah.
you guys want something to sell in Philippines, just make it funny.
But,
Philippines is
but
very
Andrew, I'm not funny.
sorry.
I'm not that funny. I'm funny looking, but I'm not that funny. So
Hey, just gotta work with what you have, Dennis. You're funny looking. You gotta bet on that. Hey, you know. But honestly,
I
though,
do.
right?
I do talk funny, and I look funny, and I walk funny. So good enough for me.
Yeah. Hey, play into your strengths. Don't focus on the negatives. Just look into okay, what do I have? Because honestly, at the end of the day, you play with what your cards are. You know what the cards you're dealt with. You gotta play with that. You can't say, "Oh, I don't have aces. I'm not gonna play this one." Just like, I've got a 4, I've got a 5, I've got a 6. I'll freaking look for a 7. Hey, you know.
That was the first thing that jumped off of my mind. From a if you're an SME out there, and I don't know, maybe you have a marketing mind, maybe your partner has a marketing mind, maybe you have a small marketing team. Certainly, things that do make people laugh. There's a great way to create a thumb-stopping experience so that people can notice you, for sure.
Indeed.
Right? And that's an important tactic. I would say it depends on your customer.
I agree.
I mean, there's no right or wrong answer, right? But because what has helped us is really understanding our customer. And we're a living example of understanding your customer works and speaking to them and just being yourself.
I
right?
agree. Yeah.
So if somebody was to walk into your traditional store, right, how would you behave?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be any different with your customers or your friends and family. It really shouldn't. And that's very warm and inviting. And when it comes to online and the lack of trust, don't try to be somebody else. Be yourself.
I agree.
And put your customer first. That's it. The decisions and the answers become really easy if you look at it like that.
Ari is actually asking if there's a way to make science and technology funny.
Yeah.
I think they call those memes.
Yeah, memes. Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe science jokes. Science and tech jokes.
To be honest, like I think Reddit has a lot of answers to this because
what's Reddit? Tell people what Reddit is.
Oh yeah, Reddit is this forum that has everything from art to news to science to technology, AI to just about everything. And honestly, memes is a huge thing. Definitely, honestly, guys, you'd be surprised at the amount of stuff that's on the internet right now. And memes is definitely one. I think it's a language at this point, to be honest. I truly agree that it's a language and it's how people communicate right now, especially to convey an idea, to convey a thought in a funny way, and it's like an inside joke thing. Um, yeah, honestly, yeah, I think Dennis has definitely said it best. Be yourself. Like, don't go and become someone that you're not, because you're just gonna end up realizing that you should have just started with yourself. And to be honest, guys, like being yourself is not a bad thing. It actually filters out a lot of the people that you would not have otherwise connected with, or be like kind of like I don't know. Think of it like a way of really filtering out people that would not be your customers. Just be yourself. If they are not really, they don't really like who you are, cool. That's just a good way to really filter them out. And it's a better way for you to find your customers that really appeal to you. Because at the end of the day, like, you can't really change you.
True.
That's
Yeah.
one non-negotiable. And I think being you should be just celebrated. And I'm pretty sure there's a group out there that's going to be celebrating you for who you are, and memes might be the key. Hey, I'm all for memes.
And not
Hey,
just being
Ari.
yourself, but
Ari, here's
being unique.
Yeah, unique indeed. Being unique is key. Oh man, I think we're all unique at this point. Like there's no one person that has the same exact story with anyone else, and I think that's one thing that I want to drill on to everyone, that we are like being yourself. You're unique. Like no one's gonna have the same exact story as you. Even if you are in the same industry, you grew up the same. Like even someone that you grew up with that has a similar story to you, they're still not going to have the same experience to you. And I think that should be celebrated, that you are you for who you are. And I think finding a way to really celebrate that angle and become you is just amazing.
True.
Yeah, people really, it's no different than traditional. It's just a different format. People, human beings, thrive and require relationships.
Hmm.
So build a relationship online.
Hmm.
Now's your chance. If you never were able to do online dating, here's your chance.
Hmm. Indeed.
True, true. Well, this was a really great conversation. I really loved knowing all Andrew's story, Dennis' story, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you to all to all those who watched, like, and all
Yeah.
the comments. Like for example, Matt says here, if the audience cannot relate, then look for different ways. Thank you all for sharing your insights, and we
Yeah.
hope that you'll be able to join us next week, same time. So
Yes.
from me, Dennis, and Andrew, see you all next week in the Digital Happy Hour. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Keep rocking this week. See you guys next Wednesday, Digital Happy
Wednesday.
Hour.
Yes, I'll bring a
And
drink next time.
don't come
Yeah.
empty-handed.
I know.
Cheers.
I'll be ready with that pint next time. Cheers.
Yes,
Digital
cheers.
cheers for now.
Let's go MSMEs.
Oh